Calm down before you stress up the groove. The energy a little different when the blessings accrue. Hey, who you talking to? Just know I ain't no regular fool. Could be anything in the world, but I can never be you because
I'm a soldier and I have to take my ups and my downs. And on Saturday, I took a loss and I have to take it like a man. And that's why one of my sayings is, never let success get to your head and never let your failures get to your heart. It's all about keeping a balance and moving forward, and that's the mindset that I have to keep.
Without no struggle, there's no progress, so we'll be grinding, working to improve. Winning is a formula that everyone wants to do, and when you're winning, it's easy to become complacent, but complacency is the killer of success. So we've got to stay ahead of the game. And everything we've always done has worked, so now we're just sharpening the tools again.
Clenching my fists, and when that bell goes, we're going to get down and dirty and handle business, and I can't wait to trade some leather.
Let's get ready to rumble! And once again, the heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua!
My philosophy is win, I come back to the gym, I get on my grind, I try and improve. I've taken losses before as an amateur and I come back to the gym, I try to improve, that got me here today. So there's nothing wrong in losing, there's something wrong in getting disheartened, and I'll never get disheartened. So for me, why I like to feel comfortable is because I already know whatever happens, I'm gonna come back to the gym in a few days and get back on my grind. And if I didn't want to be here, no one's forcing me. Let me just enjoy what I'm doing and have fun with it. There's times that I faced defeat as an amateur in my third fight. And imagine I would have stopped then, there'll be no now. So I feel like stopping isn't in my DNA. To continue, and as long as I have breath in me, I'll keep on fighting for the passion of boxing. Shannon Briggs, can I get a let's go champ? Can I get a let's go champ? Can I get a let's go champ? That's what I'm talking about, let's go champ. Shannon Briggs talks about the times he was down and out, when nobody believed in him. I think everyone in this room has been through certain things where nobody believed in them. And nobody in this room would be here if they gave up. And that's where let's go champ comes into my life right now.
A good fighter can fight in many styles, so they know what's needed to be done and they're bringing the heat. That's the main thing, because I feel like that's what Andy Ruiz does when you listen to him talk. He's like, you know, I'm ready to bring the heat, man. You know what I mean? So they're bringing the heat day in, day out. And the main thing is it's just getting me battle hardened. Punches to the head, body, shoulders, forearms. Just gets you conditioned so you can keep on walking through fire. I am that I am. I've always been solid, I've always been a fighter, so I can't really say I'm gonna go in there and then you're gonna see me fight like Mike Tyson, or you're gonna see me fight like Larry Holmes. I can sharpen my tools as much as I can and, you know, pray that it pays off. And as confident as I am, I can't say you're going to see something completely different, but you're definitely going to see, you know, an improved fighter, because I'm not at my peak where I'm just like plateauing. I'm still learning every camp, every training session. You don't make your weight as a heavyweight and then focus on training. You focus on your training, and if you feel good, whatever weight you are, you work around that. So all I've done is just focus on my boxing aspect, and providing I'm doing my rounds, I'm doing my training and I'm feeling good, then the weight will be what the weight is. But we just have to take the answers from the gym in order for the weight to be what it is. So it's not like I've got to hit this target and that means I'm ready. I feel like I've got to train in this certain way, I've got to perform in this certain way in the gym. And then once we've ticked all those boxes, whatever the weight will be is whatever the weight will be. As I said, like, I always understood when I came into the game the importance of adding something to the boxing division. I feel like every fighter has to, because, you know, there's no legacy that we join, we have to create our own. Like, when you get into the sport, no one really knows who you are, so you have to do your apprenticeship through the amateurs, and then in the pros you try and make a name. So I understood that you had to create a show, and I worked at that as well as working at boxing. And then after taking my loss, I know I've got to get back down to my fundamentals. There's a little crack in the foundations. So rather than sitting on the top of the kingdom, I've got to get down on my hands and knees and get filling in the cracks and stuff like that. So rather than flaunting and promoting the show and showing the castle off, I've now got to get down and fix the cracks in the building, and that's what I've been doing, is focusing on that type of stuff rather than promoting. History shows you how to deal with certain aspects of life, and I'm just blessed to have a second opportunity, right? So it's not like I'm sitting here lost and we're talking about Anthony, you know, what have you done? Like, you look like you've lost it, you're not the same person, like you're not a fighter anymore, what are you? You still know me as the same man, so I'm still here, so the loss hasn't affected me in that sense. And I always reflect back to, I always say, I listen to these YouTube motivational videos, and a lot of them are to do with struggles, and rather than talking about your success, talk about your failures and stuff. I always remember I would never listen to that part because I hadn't taken a loss yet, so I was just, as a professional, so I was always kind of fast forwarding past that, but my ears are now open to these things. So that being said, is that when your ears open to certain bits of information, you then become smart, don't you? Rather than blocking it out because it doesn't relate to you. The more you listen, the more you learn, so my ears are definitely open to learning more.
You know, when you're young, you've got so much energy, not much to do. So sometimes you can find yourself doing stuff that you're not supposed to do, but you don't realise it because you're just burning up energy. It doesn't always have to be sport, you know, but try to be productive, do good things. Whether it's charity work, I know it doesn't sound cool, you know what I mean, but in the long run, when you get a bit older and stuff and you start realising about your future, you'll understand. And I just hope that the elder generation as well can guide the youth, because sometimes the youth don't have anyone to look up to. Hype is hype, you know, but depends who believes it and who don't. But I believe in myself. Yeah. I back myself.
That's what's important.
Yeah, I just back myself, because I wouldn't say, if I didn't work hard and I didn't come gym every day, I wouldn't be here saying I back myself. But I put in the work to compete with the elites. So I definitely back myself. But most definitely, what I am today, like that's what I said, is that going back to the Olympics, what I am in 2012 isn't going to be the Anthony Joshua in 2016. It's all, you know, without no struggle, there's no progress. So we'll be grinding, working to improve. So my debut will be a good Anthony Joshua, but ain't going to be the greatest Anthony Joshua. That comes with time. So the pressure and all the hype, as long as I get in there, I perform, and I get that win, everyone's going to be happy, I'm going to be happy. And I'm going to be out again in the next 10 days or 30 days, so we just got to keep the ball rolling, really.
Words of advice in terms of staying focused. I think that if you're a dog and you hang around sheep, you'll soon start making sheep noises. So I think be very wary of your surroundings, try and stay around focused people, and always ask questions of support, because you never know the inspiration or guidance you need to keep you on track. It could be, you know, right through the next door. So always ask for help and support, because it's easy to find people who want to help and keep you on track.
Winning is a formula that everyone wants to do, and when you're winning, it's easy to become complacent, but complacency is the killer of success, and nobody goes and becomes successful alone. So I'm the one fighting, but there's a whole support staff behind. Everyone needs to be as enthusiastic as the person that's going out to compete and giving out that final product. We have time, we have projects, camp, non-camp. So as long as in non-camp we're preparing for a successful camp ahead and debriefing 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, then we go into the camp. It may not be perfect, but as long as we're getting closer to perfection, we've got a better chance of winning every time, because the person behind is watching where we are. And if we're content and happy with what we're achieving because it's out of the ordinary, that person is only going to improve what we're doing and take it to a new height. So we've got to stay ahead of the game.
There is no hard part about being a professional boxer. It's a blessing. And if I wasn't a professional boxer, it would be a blessing as well. As I said, wealth comes in character. It's not about status. So there's no big difference to what I do that determines who I am. It's just boxing is a blessing because I do it for passion, not for occupation.
He's slightly confident and slightly cocky. He's like, listen man, I respect you, but at the same time when it's time to fight, we've got to switch it on. Yeah, I heard that before, it is what it is, cool. You're going to tell me that. And that's it really, you know. Not this nice guy nonsense. Just get down to business. Honestly, feel refreshed, I feel relieved, and the fight can't come soon enough.
I think being humble is not take competition out of being humble. You know, being humble is like me respecting you as a person and me respecting a lady who's on the bus and I stand up and give her my seat. And do you know what I mean? That's humble. But when you talk about competition, I feel people understand and respect that you have to carry a sense of fire in your belly, and that's all that is. It's not like arrogance or anything, it's just confidence, and I'm just confident that I know what I have to do now. I'm prepared to my best capability to go out and perform, and performance leads to the win. I'm not worried about Wilder. I just know how to fight, and I know how to box, so that's a good place to be. When you don't second question, you don't doubt yourself. Do you know what I mean? When you can go into a boxing ring without having to question yourself about, damn, what do I do if this happens, or what do I do if that happens? I feel like I can control myself, and I feel like I've learned, you know, even in the last fight when I put him down, maybe I should have controlled myself a little bit more, etc. But the blessing is that out of such adversity, such great opportunity has come to right my wrong, to become two-time heavyweight champion of the world, to prove to the world, no, not to the world, to prove to myself that everything that I believed in and all the changes I wanted to make are going to pay off.
I'm doing this all for you guys. Listen, I've been in front of, I don't know, thousands of cameras this week, but you are the last people I stay behind for to make sure we get this content.
It's very hard, and I'm 33 and I've dedicated my full life for this. I had no youth life. I had no teenage life. I had no young adult life, because guess what? While all my friends and people who I knew were out drinking and partying and enjoying life, what was I doing? Running fucking 10 miles down the road in the fucking rain. Or killing myself in a boxing gym. And then people say to me, you know what, you're lucky. You're a lucky man, you are. I'm lucky because I fucking worked all the hours that God gave me. I'm lucky because I pushed it further than everybody else would dare to do. I'm lucky because I fucking trained so hard that I can't be beaten. That's a lucky man. I don't think so.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law.
I'm not lucky, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have that determination, that drive. And it's not for success. It's just to be happy today, tomorrow, and the next day. But most importantly, be happy for today. Because you know, tomorrow ain't promised to nobody. As we all know quite clearly, tomorrow is no certain gift at all.
You go swimming and you're going to get wet. You mess with fire long enough, you'll get burned, you know. I've had 3 fights with the biggest puncher in the history of my sport, in my division. And he caught me, you know, he caught me twice in the 4th round. But I was never like thinking, oh, this is over. I was thinking, okay, good shot, but I will get you back in a minute. And I did. About how many times you get put down or how many times you lose or win. It's about how you can come back and keep getting back up and keep moving forward. Like Rocky said, you've got to keep moving forward and in a positive manner and keep fighting. Not just in a boxing fight, but in life in general, because nothing's ever going to be easy. If you want something that's very hard to get, you've got to sacrifice and dedicate and keep pushing no matter what, and never let anybody tell you you can't. Because tonight, again, time and time again, I show that it's very possible to achieve anything you ever want as long as you believe it and you're near.
Try
Success is to me, is waking up in a good mood, having a good day, surrounded by people who you want to be surrounded by. Kids, family, that sort of success. Success to me isn't measured on how much money you've got or what business ventures you're into. Success for me is being happy in your home and with your wife and your kids or your partner, whoever you've got, being happy with those people. That's success to me.
It all started in Michigan.
Yeah.
You know, just having a dream, believing in myself, believing in my skills, believing in my talent, and also surrounding myself with the right team. I had to surround myself with the right people. And everything took flight, you know, but just my mother being on crack.
Yeah.
My dad being shot when I was a kid.
You was there?
Actually, my dad was holding me when he got shot. I was a kid, my dad picked me up when my dad got shot. Actually, my brother shot my dad, my uncle. And then when I was in Vegas, actually, I think it was somewhere around 2006, my same uncle that shot my daddy, he died in my house. So, you know, I've been through a lot of ups and downs, but I beat all the odds.
How did you keep your mental from all the trauma that you witnessed? Because that's just a little bit. You had a lot of shit that you you went through. How did you keep your mental together as a kid? You running in the streets, you're boxing, you're going to the gym, your dad going to... How did you keep your mental together from all that trauma?
I just say to myself, I just look at the people out here in the world today. And a lot of times we cry, we complain. We complain about things that's not really important. We always worry about who got the most, or who got this and who got that, instead of just staying in your own lane worrying about what you got. So that's what I try to do. I try to focus on Floyd Mayweather. I don't try to get in nobody else's lane. I'm not jealous of nobody else, and that's what I do. Actually, what I did early on, you got to balance on a small scale. So what I was able to do was balance money on a small scale first. I made some mistakes in the beginning, but you know, that comes with the territory. Then one of the best investments that I did was New York real estate. So it started off with 7 figures, and I was getting a certain amount of money every month, because you know, when I get with my friends that's Jewish, and I get with my friends, my white friends and my Jewish friends, I'm not with them. I'm not trying to say, let me get on your plane, or I like your house. I say, you know what? Show me how to get generational wealth. And just being around them, I soaked up the game and I learned it. And just being with Al Heyman. Al Heyman played a major part, you know, with helping me get to where I got to. You know, Al Heyman one day just told me, you want to be the highest paid athlete? We'll do that. You want to go on Forbes as the top guy? We'll do that. But then, you know, along with Al and my Jewish friends and my white friends, what we did was we built generational wealth. So my first investment, my first investment was $5 million, but that was years ago. I'm talking about years ago. When I first gave them $5 million, I was getting $50,000 a month. So I said, yo, the money kept coming on the 18th every month. 50,000 would come in. I still was competing, I still was fighting, I still was active, and I still was making crazy money. I told the guys, well, I'm gonna bring y'all another 8 figures. I said, I'm gonna bring you guys 8 figures now. I know I gave you guys 7 figures, but I'm gonna bring you guys 8 figures. But then it was so good.
You just say that shit so easy. I'm gonna bring y'all 8 figures. This ain't about nothing. The fuck? It's pocket money.
So it was paying off. So what I did was I went and dumped 9 figures on them. Even like with my career, as far as with my, so when I dumped the 9 figures on them, and I gave them 9 figures, then eventually I was getting, you know, crazy 7 figures every month. I'm still getting that to this day. But I put myself in a position where I said, you know what? Because when you see me, you see the cars, you see the flash, but it's a lot that comes along with that. A lot of smart moves that's behind the scenes. So what I did was I invested, and so you guys right now, you guys can Google this. You Google One Vanderbilt and Google Floyd Mayweather. I'm a part of that project. That's the tallest building in New York City.
So kid come up, all this trauma, American dream shit too. All this trauma, Michigan to Jersey, going through it, family going through it. And
Mother on drugs.
Oh, mom's on drugs, dad going to penitentiary. And you own skyscrapers in New York City?
Yes.
Oh my God. So everything is possible.
Anything is possible. Anything is possible. You know, I own so many different buildings in so many different places. My exact number in New York City, I own nine skyscrapers in New York City.
9 skyscrapers?
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this question.
He getting it to him.
Do you think that would be possible if you never bought yourself out of the Top Rank contract?
Well, I bought myself out my contract for $750,000. And in just 3 fights, I made $750 million.
So would you say that was maybe the biggest point in your career? Was because you had the talent, you had all of that.
I think the best thing about my career was I'm my own boss. That I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I rolled the dice, and to become great at whatever you want to do, you got to roll the dice and take a chance on yourself. Absolutely. And that's what I do.
Oh, you definitely a gambler.
Absolutely.
You definitely.
Everybody always say, "Oh, I'm from here, I'm from there." At the end of the day, it's all about results.
Yes.
It's not where you're from, it's where you're going.
Because you can. I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan, but a lot of times you gotta leave.
That mindset.
You have to leave wherever you're from and go somewhere else so you can focus better and become big. You got 24 hours in a day. 8 hours you sleep, right? And most people work a 9 to 5. So 8 hours you working. 16 hours. Okay, so we had 16 hours. We got breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we had 19? It take you an hour to get ready. So we had 20 hours. So I cannot spend, you guys cannot spend 4 hours going to my they lying. Oh, I like this photo. Oh, they faking. Sending photos to other people. Y'all got to get focused. I'm where I'm at because I'm focused. Tunnel vision. I'm focused on what I got to do. Y'all got to have a game plan.
Got to get focused.
I'm a different kind of animal, yeah? I'm not a sulker. This is a blessed opportunity to be able to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world, to fight good fighters time and time again, for people to come out. So, yeah, it's a blessed opportunity. I'm not going to go home tonight and be crying about it because this is war.
I've taken losses before as an amateur and I come back to the gym. I try to improve. That got me here today. So there's nothing wrong in losing. There's something wrong in getting disheartened.
I'm a soldier and I have to take my ups and my downs. And on Saturday, I took a loss and I have to take it like a man. And that's why one of my sayings is, never let success get to your head and never let your failures get to your heart. It's all about keeping a balance and moving forward, and that's the mindset that I have to keep. How to explain that feeling? I'm still me, I'm still the same old Anthony Joshua. I'm not speaking in third person, but I'm still the same old Anthony Joshua. The same motivation and trying to better myself through boxing.
Is it too good to be true? I want this so much, but don't know if I can trust you.
it's a long process. Like, this isn't just like one fight and then I'm done. I've got an opportunity to go back to the drawing board.
All these green lights, are they coming too soon? Caught between red and the green and you. I'm stuck in the blue.
I can't go back and sulk. That's wasting time, G. I'm not putting my energy into sulking. I'm putting my energy into ways I can improve.
Value how I'm feeling. How do you have so much time? Been searching for a reason for why you'd love a chip design. Aren't you listening to me now? Screamed all my secrets, why don't you leave them? Ooh. Is it too good to be true? I want this so much, but don't know if I can trust you. My mind's racing fast, trying to find the red flags I'm used to. All these green lights, are they coming too soon? Caught between red and the green and you. I'm stuck in the blue.
It's tough, you know, when you lose sometimes. You know, it feels like it rips away a part of you, but for me, as I said, I'm never going to switch up and change on anyone. I'm still the same me, still ambitious.
You never tell me that I owe you. Don't you need to refuel? The safety when I hold you, you know exactly what to do. Did you fall out of the heavens or crawl up from under? I can't help but wonder. Ooh, oh, is it too good to be true? I want this so much, but don't know if I can trust you. My mind's racing fast, trying to find the red flags I'm used to. All these green lights, are they coming too soon? Caught between red and the green and you. I'm stuck in the blue.
The only thing we can do is take one day at a time. You know, it's all we can do. No one is perfect. Every day we strive to be perfectionists, but no one is perfect. I make mistakes. I make mistakes. You know, I've said things that I shouldn't have said when I was younger. I've done things that I shouldn't have done when I was younger. I'm not perfect, but we live and we learn. And that's a part of growing. Some guys game plan, we gonna rush him. Now we gonna rush him. Okay. What's your second game plan? That's plan A. What's plan B? Pacquiao, he can set the trap for other fighters, but you can't set the trap for Floyd Mayweather because you got to have plan A, you have to have plan B, and if you don't have a plan B, then you go to plan C. I've never beat a fighter with my A game. You have to have a certain charisma about yourself, a certain look about yourself that pay-per-view that pay-per-view attraction, that pay-per-view look. I know, because I was a young kid and I had that same look. Certain fighters, Oscar De La Hoya, he had the look. Sugar Ray Leonard had the look. Mike Tyson had the look. Certain fighters have that look and that charisma about them to become pay-per-view stars. And if anybody know about who can become a pay-per-view star, you're talking to the king of pay-per-view. You know, you have to realize we did so many record-breaking numbers, we don't no longer call it pay-per-view, we call it May-per-view. I never focus on anything but the guy that's in front of me. Because when it comes down to it, I always said this for many, many years, the fans cannot fight for you. And one thing I know I can do, I can fight. So, the fans, when they shout, scream, I don't worry about nothing. I just, you know, keep my composure and stick to the game plan. Constantly keep coming ahead, pushing him back. You know, when he first come out for the first 20 seconds of the round, when he go back to his corner and he sit down, I said when he come out, he gonna come out for 30 seconds and fight hard, and then he gonna break. And once he break, that's when I'm gonna shoot a hard shot to the body, hit him with a hard shot up top, and keep pushing him back. Remember, I told you guys, weight doesn't win fights. Fighting wins fights. And then, you know, when I said talking doesn't win fights, fighting wins fights. Meaning that when we was on when we was on stage for the weigh-in, I don't have to do no more talking. We fighting tomorrow, so I did enough talking on our tour, basically. So, you know, everybody said, "Oh, Mayweather, you was talking on the tour." Okay, I did a lot of talking on tour, but now it's time to fight. We're 24 hours away from the biggest fight in the world, the biggest combat fight in the world. There's no need to talk anymore. There's no blueprint on how to beat me. I can crack any Da Vinci Code when I'm in that ring. I'm the best.
Right now, do you believe you're the best in the world?
I feel I'm the best ever. I broke everybody's record. Tell me who record I haven't broke. It's not bragging or boasting. The proof is in the pudding. Men lie, women lie. Numbers don't lie.
Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter if it's Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali. Doesn't matter.
I respect them. I take my hat off to them. But you think I gave this sport my whole life to say there's another fighter that's better than me? Absolutely not. Life is priceless. And life is priceless. And your health is your wealth. So a lot of times, they say, Floyd, once you stick around boxing, you can make this and you can make that, you can make this. 2 years off, I could have made a ton of money. But remember, your health is your wealth. Another thing about my career, I never wanted, as far as, making weight, when you asked me about Gervonta, Tank making weight. He's young. But when I was young, I think I would have made those same mistakes if I didn't have my father in my life. Just being a coach that was extremely hard on me. I think that if he didn't discipline me in boxing, I don't really know where, how my career would have played out. I didn't want to slack, and I didn't want to seem irresponsible or not disciplined. So that's why I always you got to sacrifice something to get something. So that's why I've always made sacrifices to get to a certain level. And to get to the pinnacle, you got to make sacrifices, and that's what I did. They can't be mad at me. I done my job. I never said I was a checkers player. I'm a chess player. I play chess. Every move is calculated. But the fans should have thought about that when I was running through everybody at one particular time. So now I'm just older and wiser. I'm older and wiser. It's like fine wine. I get better with time. I've been around just different people that's been in the game a long time, and my billionaire buddies. Every time I got around my billionaire buddies, I was more like, it's cool to come over your house, but I need a house like this. Yeah. It's cool to ride on your yacht, but I need a yacht like this. Yeah. It's cool to ride on your jet, but I want a jet like this. And I said, no, I don't want to ride on yours. You show me how to get it. You can't be my friend if you can't show me how to get it. Because once they show me how to get it, then I can install it in my children. Then it trickles down.
It's a bloodline thing.
Yes. So it's about wealth. I'm no longer rich, I'm wealthy.
Right.
I'm always thinking, how can I get better? How can our company grow? How can I continue to teach people around me how to fish, and I don't want to fish for them? We teach you how to become entrepreneurs. And if we can't, we want you to be the best that you can be if you're up under the banner.
Jealousy, people jealous of you, comes with success. So anytime you're successful, people gonna be jealous of you. When people not always gonna like you. Sometimes when you're in class, some people don't like you when you're in school, right? But that don't stop you from going, right? And you still go there and be your best, right? So the same thing like my job. I still go there and be at my best.
I mean, I think I think I just had a game plan. I had a brilliant game plan. The game plan was to be very outspoken. You know, I was born with personality. I was born with charisma. Speak my mind. Speak from the heart. You know, I don't hate or dislike anyone. But I want to go out there, you know, and just do what I have to do inside that square circle. Choose a tremendous team on the outside that's going to help me take things to the next level, and that's what I did. That may be faster than me. You got fighters that may hit harder than me. You got fighters that's very athletic, but you don't have no fighter that can make adjustments like me. You don't have fighters that can be on my level mentally. It's never personal for me. It's always business. Every other fighter fight for certain things. Everybody fight for what they fight for. My thing is this. I keep my eyes on the prize. I never focus on things outside the ring. My focus is the guy that's in front of me. You get to where you're trying to get to by staying focused, staying on a parallel path. I always had a dream. And my dream was to be the best. No matter what happens. Saturday. When it comes down to boxing, I'm the best at this. Become great. You have to follow greatness. But to become it's like to become a great leader, you have to be a great follower. And to be successful, you gotta want to follow success. And I want every fighter to just stay focused, stay on the parallel path. 19 years, and I reflect back over my career. I can't just say I'm going out 49-0. You can never overlook anyone. In this camp, did I push myself? Absolutely. Every fight played a major key. All 48 fights played a major key. It's not just the intelligence. It's the sharp mind. It's the good chin. It's the tremendous heart. I never overlook no opponent. I train for every fighter the same way. I push myself. I believe in my skills and I believe in my talent.
I feel if I work hard, I can play hard. This is me. Did nobody get in there and put the gloves on for me? Did nobody go out there on that road and run miles and miles for me? Nobody took the broken ribs. Nobody took the bloody nose. I did it all. I dedicated myself to my craft, and I bust my ass. I'm going to continue to keep believing in my skills, keep listening to my father, keep listening to my uncle, and sit on this throne for 30 months.